I'll present on the importance of Jack Neo and his films in Singapore. After the death of the local film industry in the 1980s, due to the government's focus on industrialization, building infrastructures and strict media censorship, the revival of the Singapore film industry came about with the production of Medium Rare in 1991, based on local killer Adrian Tan, who was sentenced to death in 1988 for murder. Although costing over $2 million in production, this film performed poorly at the box office, taking in only about 130,000. The same year also saw the release of Mee Pok Man by Eric Khoo. This film received good critics locally and overseas, and sparked off more experimental and independent filmmaking within the nation. Other significant local films which contributed to the growing film industry at the time were Army Days, 12 Stories, Forever Fever, and the Teenage Textbook Movie. Jack Neo started his TV career in 1980 and became one of the most successful TV celebrities in Singapore, well known especially for his comic cross-dressing roles, such as Liang Po Po and Liang Si Mei in the Comedy Nights series. Over the last 10 years, he has produced a significant number of films, mostly dealing with the social problems and lifestyles of Singaporeans. And today, he is one of the most prolific artists in Singapore. His first film, Money Not Enough, was his most notable and shot him to cinema stardom. This film received huge success, with box office takings of over 5.8 million, and is still the top grossing movie in Singapore today. Money Not Enough also acts as a milestone for the revival of the Singapore film industry. So, why were his films so popular? Drawing from his past experiences as a comedian, he used comedy to portray political and social problems of the Singapore heartlanders, such as gambling and the rising cost of living, which engages his audience in a deceptively light-hearted manner. His portrayal of stories were often heartwarming and emotional, and in his films, he used dialects such as Hokkien and Cantonese and Singlish, which are easily understood by most Singaporeans and relates closely to the older generation in Singapore. Money Not Enough revolves around the lives of three friends from different walks of life, all of which have their own financial problems. Chew Wai Keong, played by Jack Neo, is a middle-class Singaporean who is Chinese educated. Ong, played by Mark Lee, is a contractor who is in debt with loan sharks and ends up turning to his friends for financial support. Hui, played by Henry Tia, is a coffee shop waiter who is convinced that getting a handphone will win him the girl of his dreams. Money Not Enough deals with the issues of the Asian economic crisis, depicting the financial troubles and family issues faced by the Singapore middle class during that time, relating closely to the Heartlanders' sentiments. It provides a realistic insight into the Singapore culture. The video shows Singaporeans' spending and gambling habits, such as buying 4D and Toto, and how much money they have is still not enough to satisfy their needs. It also relates to the economic crisis, where thousands of people got retrenched in Singapore and face financial problems. I'm Not Stupid was a new film genre started off by Jack Neo in Singapore. It was not just a movie for children, but about children. The film portrays the lives and struggles of 3 primary school children from different social classes who are placed in the EM3 stream. They constantly face emotional pressure in the film, being scolded by their parents because of their poor grades. And Jack Neo always used songs to relate to the social issues of his films to his audience, which are easily understood. This film criticizes the Singapore education system, that having a good qualification means having a bright future, leading to Singaporeans' parents' kiasu attitudes on pushing their children to excel in their studies, neglecting their feelings and other talents. Following the release of this film, it led to debates of our education system, specifically streaming, which places social stigma on our students. And this system is set to be abolished this year. However, film reviews and critics felt that Jack Neo films lacked cinematic and technical qualities, and that his films didn't reach international recognition in film festivals because it was too locally rooted that foreign audiences find it difficult to relate to, and he always sticks to the same formula in his films, and there was lack of innovation and the audience were growing tired of it. In conclusion, I feel that Jack Neo has carved a strong identity and style through his films, setting him as one of the most prolific filmmakers in Singapore. And his films were well received locally as well as abroad, especially in places with a Chinese language market such as Hong Kong. And I feel that he should be a role model to future filmmakers as he tries to constantly improve his ideas and techniques and constantly strives for his films to be recognized at international film festivals.